out. And that kind of opens another area in terms of something you need to know if you're definitely going to kind of break in, and that is what kind of writer are you? I can tell you that of those first 6 scripts, I wrote a action movie, and then I tried a comedy, and then I tried a kids sort of fantasy thing. And in the end, you know, we all like to think we can write anything, and some of us can. Some of us cannot. I'm not a good comedy guy, at least in terms of selling it. My stuff is too dark. But I know that I write kind of action drama, kind of genre stuff. And I think the reason I sort of got the jobs for the Underworld is because I took it kind of more as serious. I took the character seriously on a sort of an action level. And they like that. So you need to know what kind of things you write. Coming back to that idea of having a couple of scripts to send out and have that next one, an executive, when you get that opening, does not want to hear if you've shown them an action piece they like or a comedy or whatever it is. They don't want to then see a different genre because they pigeonhole you. And to some extent, that's just the business of it. They have comedy writer lists, and it's very difficult for them to say, well, you know what, you wrote a great action film, why don't I hire you for comedy? That makes no sense to them. I'm going to pay money for something I've never seen this guy do before. I mean, y'all can understand that. Is, you know, hiring somebody, you wouldn't hire a guy to do carpentry who mows your lawn, right? That's how they're going to view it. So you need to define what kind of writer you are, you know, genre-wise. Doesn't mean you can't expand later on, but in terms of breaking in, very hard if your samples aren't kind of in the same genre. And so in terms of, so you need to, once you've defined that, then you can sort of get out there and try to find some of those type of scripts, read them, and sort of you can compare yours to them. I mean, structurally, you're going to find that scripts usually follow the same pattern, you know.
They should.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, telling a story, audiences get bored after a few minutes. Anybody bored? Maybe I can get up and get you going. That's why we have the act structure. Because after about 20 minutes, they need something new. That's just the way it is, you know. I mean, get them back into it. So the structure does not change for most of these, you know, for most scripts. So that's one thing you can definitely compare to. But know your genre and then pursue that genre is important in terms of trying to then define yourself to an executive and a studio.
And I don't think that's even as complicated. I don't think that's even a complicated process because inevitably everybody tends to write what they like to write. And that tends to fall. If you like comedy a lot and you like to write comedy a lot, then you're going to tend to just keep writing comedy scripts. If you like horror films a lot and you like to write scary things, you're going to tend to keep doing that over and over. Even if the genre is slightly, you know, one's horror, one's action horror, one's a medieval period piece, you're going to tend to always drift into areas that you like the best. So it's, you know, and that's fine because that's, the town wants to define you. So, and so they can put you on a list, as you suggested. And they do keep all these lists.
Absolutely.
I didn't quite do it that way. I did keep writing across genres. So eventually, you know, they came up with the list, and the list I hit was characters, right?
Yeah, I was going to get into that. I do a lot, in the past I've done a lot of dialogue work. Like I've been hired, say, by studios, especially movies that are getting close to production, or they feel are close to being ready to go out, say to actors, whatever. I've been hired to do dialogue work. They don't want structural stuff. I mean, they might want to hear some ideas. You say, hey, I've got an idea for the final act. But in general, when you get hired to do dialogue, they just want the dialogue rework. Because I've got the reputation of writing decent dialogue, you know, and doing good character work. And that's a niche that, you know, I've been able to exploit and you know, make money off of. Is it the most satisfying one? No, but I mean, it's nice to get a check, you know, for sitting around in my underwear on a Monday morning writing, you know, I can't complain.